Hey friends, and welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be working on some yew trees. Me and my dad picked these up yesterday, and we picked them up at the Home Depot for $9.98, both these trees. So really good deal on these. So I figured I'd pick them up and try to make something out of them. So yeah, let's see what we can do with them. So I know this one we will cut what we need to cut off of it and sort of start setting the branch structure and put this one in the ground so it can grow and thicken up. And this one will just make a little Shohin tree out of it. So yeah, that's the plan for these trees. So we're gonna start with this little one here. So first, what I'm going to be doing is just taking it out and just seeing what we have to work with here. See if we got anything special hiding underneath this soil. Because usually with the nurseries, what they do is when they transplant, they really just stack it up, and they cover up the trunk as the years go on. So let's just see if we got anything. I'm not going to be doing too much of tearing up the roots. I just want to clean up a little bit, see if we got anything under here. So what I found here is a nice little flare coming out. So, and then another root that flares out in the back here. So now what we have to do is just now that we know what we have to work with down at the Nabari, we want to choose a front now. So I'm going to be, I have this branch here in the back, and I'm not going to be using this. So if I cut this here and if I use this side as the front, you're going to see that cut wound, which in the future is not going to matter, but because it will heal up. But for right now, I'm going to be using this as the front. And already I could see which branch I'm going to be using as where's it at? As my first branch. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit more. I put this blue stick here just so you guys know where the front is at. So now what we're going to do is just choose our branching. So as I come up here, I have my I have this branch right here. So this branch, I'm gonna end up keeping it to just thicken up this lower part right here. But you always got to keep your eye on it because this is gonna be my first branch. So you don't want it to bulge in the section. So just got to keep your eye on this. So as we come up here, we are going to just take that off. Clean this up here. And then just this crotch growth. So I have my sacrificial right here, my first branch coming down, and we go to the other side. We will shorten this up and have another branch out here. We'll go to the back. We're gonna take this big branch out right here. So instead of taking this branch out, what we're gonna do is just make it into a gin. So I'll just make a nice long cut right there. So we'll just go down, clean that up. So as I'm cleaning this gin up here, in my last video I defoliated that elm tree, and why don't you guys go take a look at that while I clean this up and see the progress with that tree. Alrighty friends, so coming in the back here, and this is the elm tree. Look how much it grew since it's only been, I don't even think a week since I defoliated this tree. Look at all that new growth. Absolutely bonkers. Very nice. So you can see how much growth this tree just exploded with growth, which is very good. So next year what we'll do is air layer this tree, and we'll have a nice elm tree. Look at this hickory also. Nice tree. I just reduced some of the leaves up top here because the top canopy was just huge. So I reduced it so this could just grow out a little bit. But nice little literati style. You know, we'll clean this tree up one day. Just let it get a bunch of growth on it. And also look at this oak. Look at the new growth coming out of there. This is what we call like a super feeding. We are super feeding this tree. Another nice oak here. Also this one where we balanced the energy, where we took some needle reduction out on this savage pine or Jack's pine. So you could see the growth is starting to separate throughout the tree. So this tree is looking good as well. Nice lace leaf maple. So I have this growing here, so it just thickens up that bottom. Beautiful tree. It's gonna be a gorgeous tree. Alrighty, back to the yew. Oh, one more thing. This is the cuttings that we did. So you could see them starting to come in. So we have the maples around here. Then we have the elm cuttings starting to bud up on top. Over here we have crabapple. So you can see those starting to bud out as well. Very cool. So I have another set back there of maple cuttings and all that good stuff. And then over here we have what is it called? Honey locusts. Look at these. So these 4 I planted right before winter. I planted the seeds and then they came up as growth. So came up in the springtime, which was really cool. And then these, I went back to where the tree was at and I saw all these growing underneath the tree. So all I did was just pluck them out of the ground and then planted them. And looks like they're doing pretty well. Here we have birch cuttings. So I just put them out in the sun. So hopefully they'll dry out a little bit, just sign of overwatering. So this one here is an elm, and you can see that starting to bud out. But these 2 are birch. So that'd be cool to make into a bonsai one day. Alrighty, now it's time to get back to the yew tree. Cool. So let me show you guys what I got going on here. So we have our sacrificial here. We have our first branch, second branch, we have our back branch. I don't know what, probably gonna cut this one off, but we got our back branch and side branch and the apex up here. So, and we have some gin. So looking pretty good. So gonna continue working on this. So this branch right here, I'm having second thoughts about, just because it is it's thicker than the first branch here, which it shouldn't really matter because we can always get this you know, thickened up, no problem. But this branch in the back here, I got a branch in the back here I could swing around and get that as my branch. So I think I'm gonna do that instead of keeping this one here. But the only reason I wanted to keep this one was because all the growth on it. You know, you get it brought down, it already has a nice set of back budding here, and also it has just nice flare out, a lot of branches here. So that's the only reason why I wanted to keep it. And I don't know yet. You know, this is where you want to make you know, the right decision. So I don't know, I think I'm just gonna end up keeping this one, and then you know, even if I do in the future eliminate these two, this could be my you know, my leading branch. So it's not really, you know, a big deal, but yeah, I think we'll just end up keeping it, and we'll keep that one in the back just in case for right now. Alright, new idea. So what I'm thinking is eliminating this sacrificial branch that I was gonna keep or have, and bring this one down. Bring this down a little bit, and then I was gonna bring this, and then I have that the dead wood in the back. I was gonna bend over to this side, but now I think I might bend it to this side. I'm not really sure, because then it crosses the trunk line. So I think I'm going, I don't know yet. So that's where I'm at right now. Trees starting to come together, looking pretty good. So I'm still debating on, you know, if I should take this, you know, I'm only growing this as a sacrificial just to thicken this bottom of this trunk up. But I don't know, and all these are going to be reduced back a little bit. I wanted to show you guys how I'm going to do that here in a little bit, but I'm still stuck on this. Because if I eliminate that, you know, it looks still pretty good, but the only reason I want to grow it right now is just to thicken that up. So, you know, I guess I just got to be patient and just leave it for right now, just so I could thicken that up. You know, and later on, then I guess I'll just cut it off. So, as we're moving along towards the top here, you know, I got a little bit more. I just got to cut off the top here, and then we'll get to the apex. This is 8 inches right here. So, but I'm going to reduce it just a tad bit more. I'm just going to compact it in just a little bit more. So, this is going to get taken off. Let's take that off right now. Alright, that's that. So now for this this top branch right here, we have to reduce that. So if you look right here, let me bring this down. I don't want to break any. So you can't just go ahead and cut that off. What you want to do is you know, reduce it to reduce it back to a branch or a bud. You know, there are new buds. You see those new buds right there growing right there. So what we can do, let's let's reduce the slower one, and then we could reduce this this top branch. So on this bottom one, anything that's growing on the bottom, we'll reduce it to just 2s right now, because this tree is about to go through another flush of growth. So I'll take that. I'll leave all this back here. Hopefully you guys can see that. Yeah. This right here. If there was a bud, back here, I could reduce this. So I'm just gonna have to wait to bring this back. Right now I'm just gonna let that to grow, and this way I could get some buds along here, and then I could reduce this. So, but for this top one here, this one I could just come in. Let's take a step back and look. Go ahead, come in, take that off. So we could bring that down. See, if I take this one down, I could bring this branch a little bit down more, and then have this branch right in there. So I guess I'm just gonna have to wait and be patient. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this wired up, and then come back to it. So this is the way it turned out. Not bad, you know, looks pretty good. So in the future, we'll be able to remove some of these branches, just so it doesn't look like handlebars on a bike or anything like that. So yeah, it's not bad. As soon as we get some more you know, back budding, we'll be able to push some of these branches back just a little bit. But all in all, this top, the apex of this, we'll be able to, you know, really do something with it later on. Right now, it's still young to be able to wire up. And yeah, it looks pretty good. Not bad for, you know, $9. So we'll be able to, you know, really twist these up just a little bit, you know, just to bring them, add some character to them. So, but looks pretty good. We'll be able to, in the future, remove that. That'll probably end up dying anyway, but just because it's so small and shaded out. But it looks pretty good. You know, I'm kind of happy with it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and you know, this other one over here, we're gonna end up putting that in the ground. So I'll clean that one up and put it on the side of the house. So even in the future, if I do remove these two, I think the tree would look pretty good. After these fill out a little bit, let's just make sure the tree's going to survive after all this. But after all these fill out, remove these two bottom branches, And this is going to be a nice little tree. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace!